Hi, it's Clover. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I was going to do this blog post from the chair behind me, but as you can see, that has been taken by the very reason that I went over budget this month, or last month. Her name is Logan, and she is my new lady, and I love her so much, so she can have the chair. But anyway, if you're new to this channel, I'm Chloe, also known as Clover, and on this channel I talk about pretty much anything that has to do with adulting. So relationships, mostly money lately, mental health, and pretty much any of the difficult things that go along with adulting. So today we are going to talk about my April 2020 spending report, which I know I'm a little late in getting this out, but it was my birthday last week, so that's my excuse. So it's May, which I can't actually believe, and the numbers are now in, and I went over budget by $9. But the good news is I'm back on track and spending less money. Last month, or I guess March 2020, I spent about $8,000, which is about twice more expensive than what normally I spend in any given month. So it's nice to be back in the normal range because I don't have any other major life changes other than the dog behind me. But she's wonderful and she's the best decision ever, even if she's really expensive. So anyway, let's first talk about my April 2020 categories. So in my April 2020 categories, I had scheduled or planned for groceries to be about $200. I spent $214, or I'm sorry, groceries were supposed to be $220 and I spent about $214. Clover, $70, I spent $67. Health, medical, $133, which is what I spent. Home, $1,849. She's so cute. It's so hard to pay attention all day, every day. Transportation, I spent $0 on. Woot woot, thank you, coronavirus. Personal, I spent $105, which is according to the budget. Entertainment, I planned on spending $45, but I only spent $40. And then utilities and cell phone, I planned on $330, but I spent $325. Parking, $70. Debt, $805. Chicago Boss Bays, we had some website renewals, so that was $85. Then special occasion was $90, what I had planned on, and I only spent $83. The dog was very expensive last month because her official adoption went through, and I also had to buy a bunch of supplies for her. So that I planned on spending $837, but I actually spent $877, so I was over budget by $40. And then renter's insurance went through last month at $9. So my total spending was $4,662. So as you can see, I went over budget because dogs are expensive, and I didn't realize just how expensive. That's really my only fuck up though, to be fair. I didn't anticipate moving in and immediately getting a dog, but coronavirus kind of made that happen for me, and I'm not mad about it. So there are a few areas where my expenses are a little bit higher than usual, and so groceries, I spent a little bit more on groceries because one, I'm stress eating, and two, I'm cooking a lot at home. So I think that those are both okay, because if I'm cooking at home, I'm spending less money on takeout, and if my worst vice is eating too many cookies with frosting in it, you know, I'll take it. So I will say the good thing about my grocery bill is that I have started going back to Aldi, which is significantly less expensive. So my yearly goals have been adjusted a couple of times, but let's just look at what the numbers are right now and how I am doing on average. So my goal for the year is $107 per pay period for groceries, which is, I'm currently averaging $98. Clover, $25 per pay period, averaging currently $39. Health, medical, $31 versus $39. Home, $730 versus $735. Transportation, $57 versus $69. Personal, $46 versus $50. If you see a theme here, I'm over in most of my yearly categories. Entertainment, $76, $86. Utilities, $125, $105, so that one's under. Travel, $184 versus $193. Debt, $846 versus $977, so that's good. I'm over my debt payment, which is really good because that means I'm putting more money on my debt than I originally planned. Chicago Boss Babes, 13 versus 15. Parking, 15 versus 16, dating 15 versus 19, special occasions 65 versus 109, renter's insurance 3 versus 1, and dogs 76 versus 62, which is a new expense. So on average, I am over budget per pay period by $66. That looks a little different than my March spending report, because in March I was on average $34 under budget per pay period to now I'm over $66 per pay period, which the reason this is because I have completely readjusted all of the numbers in all of my categories for my yearly budget. So due to coronavirus and due to new budget items, i.e. little lady Logan, I kind of just went through and adjusted all my numbers so that I could allow space for her, also allow for a larger budget for my home, and allow for like new rugs and things like that. And I also am planning on getting a keyboard to play during this quarantine, and so that kind of added up. In order to do that though, I needed to change my goals. So my grocery goals went down, so I am currently aiming to spend about $15 left per pay period on groceries. Clover went down.
Clover was originally $38 per pay period, or $1,000 a year that I was aiming for, and now it's at $650 per year. Health medical, I originally was planning $1,500 a year, but I have reduced that to about $800 a year. Home, I was originally planning for $14,500 per year on home, but I have increased that budget to $19,000 per year because I want to live like where I live. Transportation, I originally had $2,500 planned per year, and I reduced that to $1,500 per year. Personal, $2,300 a year is what I originally planned. I reduced that by $1,100, so my goal is now $1,200 per year. Entertainment, $2,600 a year, that I reduced to $2,000 per year. Utilities didn't really change. Travel, $5,000 a year is my original goal, and I reduced it to $4,800, which isn't a major difference, but it allows me to spend more money in categories where I need to spend money. So paying for Logan is something that I needed a new budget category, and I had to find areas to take that money somewhere and put it into her new category. So debt still at $22,000 is the goal, and Chicago Boss Babes I reduced from $500 a year to $350 a year. Even with all of that though, I had some new categories that are adding up to a little bit more than $5,000 more a year. So originally I didn't have a taxes category because I had to pay taxes this year, so I had to pay almost $600 in taxes. Dating, I didn't have that as a category last year, so it's now at $400 a year. Keyboard is $550 is what the plan is. Donations, I have about $150 in there. Parking was a new category because Oak Park parking is a nightmare, and that's $400. And renter's insurance is $75, which is also new. And my little lady, she is a $1,500 budget item per year on my current yearly goals.
So why am I spending almost $5,000 more than I originally planned? Originally I was only planning on spending about $58,000 this year, but now I'm looking at closer to $63,000 a year. And it adds up because I wanted to spend more on rent. Instead of focusing on spending $1,000 a month, I decided to look for something that was closer to $1,500 a month because I didn't really like where I was finding $1,000 apartments, and I also want to choose a space that I will live in for a while, and this place is about $1,400 a month. So that increased my budget to $19,000 versus $14,000, and I'm okay with it because I like where I live and it makes me happy, and obviously I'm spending a crap ton of time here right now. So that increased, plus there's the additional category of this little Logan. Oh god, she's just so freaking cute. You are worth $1,500 a year for sure. She's like, I'm worth way more than $1,500 a year. And that's if she stays healthy. So she's currently going through heartworm treatment, which luckily the rescue that I got her from pays for that. But if there's any other health issues, like when I had a Newfoundland with my ex-boyfriend, it was his Newfoundland, I dropped about $5,000 in just a couple of months because of all of his health issues. So hopefully this little lady doesn't have any coming up, but we'll see. So anyway, that alone, in addition to the parking payments and the renter's insurance and things like that, added up way more than $5,000, is closer to $7,000. But because I adjusted the different categories that I have already in place, it's it's only a $5,000 difference because I am focusing on cutting out money where it doesn't really matter to me. I would like to, in the future, cut back further on utilities and my cell phone bill. My cell phone bill is a little high. I don't like that I spend $3,000 a year on utilities and my cell phone. So I am going to be looking into a service called Tello, which basically gives you Sprint outlet service, where it's like all the unused Sprint service that they're not using, they sell to people for hugely discounted prices. So I am looking into that after I pay off my cell phone. So I originally was leasing my cell phone, which was stupid, but I leased it because I didn't want to just obviously pay outright for a cell phone, and I made the mistake of continuing to lease it even though well after the leasing period was over. So I've essentially just been paying $30 a month to use this phone when I could have just paid for it. It was like $300 I think when my leasing agreement was up, and I could have just paid for it outright so that I wouldn't keep paying this $30. So lesson learned. I mean, I've been paying for it for over a year, so I've already spent $300 extra on this phone that I probably never should have, but I decided to start paying it off now so that in a couple of months it will be paid for. And then I can take that phone over to Tello, which is a new service where it's only like $12 a month. My housing costs are really high, and I know $19,000 a year is a lot, but I do obviously want to like where I live, and I do plan on staying here for a couple of years, but in the future I would like to probably buy a building and do some house hacking so that I can live for free or live for a lot less than $20,000 a year, which to be determined. That's probably like 5 to 10 years out in the future. So I'm not going to share the whole spending report. If you want to look at everything that I spent in April 2020, you can head on over to clover.com and check out my latest blog post for my April 2020 spending report. My goals that I set for myself in April 2020 was to spend so little on entertainment, which I did. I only spent about $20 per pay period on entertainment, which is probably the lowest I have ever spent on entertainment before. I also wanted to be more organized with grocery shopping trips, which I also accomplished. I got back to Aldi like 10 minutes from my house, which is not too bad. And then I also wanted to save another $500 for my emergency fund, which I accomplished. I actually saved about $2,000 last month, and that helped me bump up my savings to over $7,000. So I almost have the amount that I need in order to have 3 months of savings saved. So my goals for next month, i.e. this month, May right now, is I'm currently on a no spend month, so I am not going to be spending anything in personal or special occasions or or entertainment other than for Mother's Day. I'll be spending a little bit for Mother's Day. I also want to save another $2,000, which I believe I have already done. It's May 9th as I'm recording this, so I think I'm good on that. We'll just see. Hopefully I don't have to take anything out. And then I wanted to budget for my birthday and not spend $700 on myself again this year. Technically, I kind of spent more than $700 because I got a dog and then I got some rugs and I moved into my own apartment, but I didn't spend like $700 on like massages and eating out and everything. I kept it a lot lower this year, so that is good. So anyway, that's pretty much it for my spending report. If this is something that you enjoyed and want more content like this, or if you have suggestions for future content, leave some comments below and let me know. Hit that like button if you liked this, and subscribe if you want to see more of this. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys are all doing well as we navigate this weird ass time right now. So thanks, guys.